Hello and welcome back to Planted Seeds of Life. Recently, I went to a community garden with a group of friends to pick fresh pumpkins for our recipe of the day. We were baking fresh pumpkin pie from scratch using only freshest and natural ingredients. And to make it even better, we were baking with purpose. This pie was specially made for a community dinner we were organizing at our community rose garden. And now that we have the fresh pumpkins from the garden, the only thing to make with that is a good pumpkin pie. So we're showing you how to make a pumpkin pie using sweet meat squash. But the recipe is exactly the same if you were to use regular pumpkins. Okay, this particular squash, it's pretty hard. So be careful when you cut it. And Abby, would you help me open it? Okay. Let's see what we got inside. That looks great. I want you to smell this, and I want you to tell our viewers, what are you smelling? Smell it. I'll let it come to you, and tell me, what do you smell? Watermelon. It smells like a watermelon and cantaloupe put together. It smells like a most beautiful summer day. That's what it smells like. And it's all in October squash. I don't know how is that possible. Maybe it was soaking the sun the whole summer long, and here it is. It smells phenomenal. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this in smaller pieces, and then we're gonna roast it. So that will be a step one. So the next step is to get the seeds out. You can use a spoon and just get as much as you can. By the way, these seeds are really good if you want to roast them. And when we cook a pumpkin, we usually save the seeds, and we can roast them on 350 for about 15 minutes. And they're really good and healthy for you. This is fun, Abby, isn't it? Mm-hmm. All right. So we have our pumpkin ready for baking. And Miss Abby, can I ask you to put this in the oven for me? Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to bake it for probably about 35 to 40 minutes on 350. Okay, I can help you. We just gave you approximate time for roasting, but the best way to know if it's done or not is by using fork. Make sure the fork can comfortably go through the pumpkin before you take them out. So we're going to clean up, and the next step is to make a homemade crust. So we're going to show you how to do that. All right, Abby, I'm going to need your help with the pie crust. So can you slice this cold butter in fine slices for us? Please, okay? And I'm going to add a little bit of salt to this dish. Okay? Maybe a little bit of sugar too. Just a pinch of salt and pinch of sugar. And I'm going to help Abby. So it's really important that you start with the cold butter, because this will ensure the flakiness of the dough. Abby, we have 2 sticks of butter, pinch of salt, pinch of sugar. Mm-hmm. Now let's put some flour in there. So we don't have the exact measurement for the pie crust, but we will know by thickness. And to help you get to the recipe, we will measure how many cups of flour we get. Mm-hmm. Okay, here comes the first one. Hold on. Okay. All right, so my partner here is rolling up her sleeves. She means business, and let's see if we got this proportion here right. Mm-hmm. So 2 sticks of butter, 2 cups of flour, and let's see what happens. Let's just have fun with it. Just squish it really hard between your fingers. And let's work as fast as we can, because we don't want this butter to melt. Okay. Ow! I think I got somebody's finger in the dough. This is fun. And the dough is slowly shaping up, because the temperature, that is heat of our hands, is slowly melting the butter, and it's combining it with the flour. It's a little bit more work, and soon we're going to have a perfect dough. Okay, Abby, I'm gonna finish up the dough. You go wash up your hands. And then we're gonna roll this out. So now that butter has melted, now we're just gonna invest a little bit of time to combine this dough and make it nice and smooth. And to do it, we might need just a little bit more flour on the side. Just a sprinkle of flour. A little bit between your fingers like this. Our dough looks good, and we're gonna put it in the fridge for a little bit just to keep it nice and cool while we move to the next thing. Abby, here's the baby. Tuck it in and put it in the fridge. Would you do that for me? Mm-hmm. All right, it's yours. And then it was time to clean up. Just a quick tip. Allow pumpkins to cool before you start peeling them. Now the pumpkin has cooled off. We're gonna cut it, peel it and cut it. And Abby here is, she can show us how to do it, okay? You just need a little knife and just go very thin on the skin to save as much as the pumpkin as possible. With pumpkin pre-cut, we're moving back to a pie crust. Okay, and we are ready to get back to our dough. Abby, bring the dough and let's see what we got. Okay, let's see what we got. Ah, it's looking good. And did you know, Abby, that you could bake cookies with this? Okay, and all you need to do is to alter recipe just a little bit. So we have flour and butter in it, right? Now, picture if we added a little bit more sugar in this same dough, a touch of lemon or lemon zest, and a little bit of vanilla. Then you could take this dough and make little balls and just kind of squish them flat and bake them individually. And this would make an amazing cookies. They're like a shortbread cookies. But that's not what we're doing today. We're going back to the crust. And I need a knife. Can I get a knife? Mm-hmm. Please, Abby. All right. Dough looks really good. And can you cut this in half for Vlada? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna work mine in like this, and if you want to start working yours, best. Let's see how good we did this. I got mine. There's yours. Okay. This is the ultimate test to see if we made a good dough. So far, it's performing well. Thank God this came out good so we don't embarrass ourselves. So the next step is just to set it up in a baking dish and use your fingers to kind of shape it and spread it out the way you want it. One down, one more to go. Mm-hmm. Okay, is this fun or what?
Yeah.
It is fun, yes. It's fun to make it, and it's even more fun to eat pie that has all that good flavor. And when you have food, you want food to be true, and you want food to have all the taste that nature offers. And I think, in this case, our pie will be just that. And here is our second one too. And now it's time to get back to pumpkin filling. Abby, would you put the pumpkin in a food processor? And to pumpkin, we're gonna add 1 can of evaporated milk. It's good. Let's get everything out of it. We're gonna do evaporated milk. Okay, and 2 eggs. Would you give us 2 eggs, Abby? And then we're gonna add sugar and some spices, and pretty much that's it. We're just gonna let it blend, pour it in a pie shells, and bake it. So we're adding sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon ground cloves, and about a tablespoon of vanilla. All right, now this is about it. Abby, let's blend this. Let's bring it all together. Where's the lid?
Right there.
Okay, oh, right here? Okay, let's bring it all together. Ready? Okay. All right, so what's left is just to pour the mixture in a crust. All right, we're almost done, and I have to share with you that we had a huge mishap just before this. Abby, you want to tell them what happened?
So we had the food processor, and she lifted up, and something happened to the bottom, and everything spilled out all over the place.
Yes. So maybe we will even share this with you. I think I'm going to try to pull a couple of clips of what happened. But just because we look professional, it doesn't always mean we know what we're doing. And things happen to us as well. But the bottom line is we have enough filling for both pies. And I think the flavor is there, which is all that matters, right? Okay.
Depending on your oven, the pumpkin pie should be ready about in 30 minutes at 350.
With pies baking, we were ready to take a break and grab some lunch. Delicious homemade split pea soup. Just enough time to enjoy it before our pies were done. All right, and I think it's time to try it now. Let's bring them all here. Let's try them and see what they taste like. The pies are still pretty hot, and the best way to serve them is when they cool a little bit, but we don't want to wait that long. So we're going to try this and make sure that it's as delicious as we said it will be. The only thing that's missing here, it's a scoop of ice cream, vanilla ice cream, or maybe a little bit of whipped cream. Abby, this crust, it's crumbling like crazy. It must be good. You want to try it?
Sure.
Okay. Let me take a little bite too. What do you think? It's very good. And the crust is crumbling, which means it's just going to melt in your mouth. And that's exactly what we wanted. Okay, let's get a next plate. Ready? This is going to be good. Okay. And since we don't have ice cream or the whipped cream, I'm just putting a little bit of nutmeg in mine. You want to do the same thing on the rest of the pieces? And although pie might be too hot to be cut, I'm sure it's going to taste just as good. So all that's left is to take the other pie to our event tomorrow night and make sure that it's as good as we promised you it would be. Because we're going to have plenty of judges to judge our work tomorrow. This is good.